bizarre was in that second period when the Buffalo Sabres had a two-man advantage for over 1 minute and 50 seconds. They failed to score. They did get the puck in the net once, but the play had been whistled down by the referee. Then a little bit later in that same power play situation, the puck was rolling near the goal line, and the Edmonton goaltender Andy Moog reached back, and just as it was about to cross the goal line, got it with his goal stick. So there have been a couple of the big chances, but I think Buffalo's failure with that two-man advantage could have turned the game drastically around here, back more towards the Sabres in their favor. Meanwhile, it's been a close checking game, and I'm sure that Glenn Sather and the Oilers are thankful for that after a 10-7 shootout last night in Pittsburgh against the Penguins. As we mentioned earlier, Buffalo, always a pretty good defensive team. They're the fourth best team overall in goals against, but one of their problems is scoring goals, and I think we've seen just a little bit of that here this evening, and particularly in that second period when they had the two-man advantage for over 1 minute and 50 seconds. Third period still to come, though, as both teams are back on the ice. 3-1, Edmonton leading. The Edmonton goal scorers, in addition to Anderson, have been Tom Ralston and Mark Messier. And the Buffalo goal has been scored by the rookie Mal Davis. Davis, by the way, was having a big year with Rochester in the American League. He had 43 goals before being called up. Andy Moog has made some excellent saves in the Edmonton goal crease, and he's ready to go to work here in the third period. And so are we on the USA Cable Network. Hope you're enjoying the action. Remember, next Sunday night, another big game at 8:30 Eastern Time. A big Norris Division battle for first place. The Chicago Blackhawks on home ice against the Minnesota North Stars. That's next Sunday night here on USA. And here in Buffalo we go this Sunday night with the third period, and immediately the Sabres tried to clear it in. Broken up, and Hunter lifted near the Buffalo line. Mike Ramsey is there to clear it to center ice. That's knocked down by Fogelin. Now Savard trying to carry in. Laurie Boschman back for Edmonton. Shooting it around in the boards. Hunter able to clear it to center, and Dale McCourt has it there. McCourt missed a check from Boschman. Boschman went flying, and Buffalo dump it back in. The Oilers trying to clear it. Mike Ramsey carries into the corner for Buffalo. Ramsey is checked, and Fogelin now tried to clear it. Here's Savard. Andre Savard in behind the goal to Tony McKegney. McKegney back to Berta at the point. Berta is checked, and Hunter for Edmonton is able to clear it into the center ice area. Now Buffalo's McKegney into Dale McCourt. Back to McKegney, back checking on the play, and breaking that up was Pat Hughes. He got it to center. Boschman, number 14, now flipping one in. Sobe leaving it off to the side of the goal, and Dave Benvez, number 31 on right wing, carries to center and dumps it in. Edmonton back to get it with Gretzky, number 99. Gretzky on the attack. Gretzky in across the line, trying to make a play. Here's Gretzky dropping it back to the point to Huddy. Now centered, and Gilbert Perreault intercepts to Hamel. Hamel, number 9, moving in, dropping it back. Rick Sealing cutting in. Backhander, and Moog kicked out his right pad and made the save. Now Hamel. His shot is up high, and Moog takes it against his chest and held on. Couple of good chances there for Buffalo. Let's check on other happenings in the NHL, and here's Al Trudwick.
There are three other games that we're keeping an eye on right now at the Spectrum in Philadelphia. Third period, the Flyers lead the New Jersey Devils 3-0. In the second period at Madison Square Garden, the Rangers have increased their lead over Winnipeg 5-1. And in the third period at Detroit's Joe Louis Arena, 5-0 now. The Red Wings lead Hartford.
Here from the faceoff, Buffalo with a chance. That shot goes wide. Moog out of the goal to give it to Linsman. Linsman flips it to center, and Mike Ramsey back after it for the Sabres. He gives it to Peterson, now to Ruff at center. Linsman knocked that down. Here's Glenn Anderson trying to move in. That's shot away by Ramsey. It goes all the way into the Buffalo zone, and Randy Gregg controls the puck. To Linsman, now to Messier. Just fired it to center, picked up by Anderson. Glenn Anderson moving in, tries to get it to Linsman, and Mike Ramsey made a good defensive play. And the Sabres come back. Steve Patrick, number 26, flips it in. Gary Laraviere cleared it out on the wing. That's broken up, and Gregg shoots it off the boards to the blue line. Benbez has it there. Pass at center for Phil Housley. Housley dumps it in, and Lowe takes over for Edmonton. Kevin Lowe now to Lumley. Couldn't get it out. And then as Jordy Robertson has a chance, he lost it. Edmonton get it again, and Fogelin feeds Tom Ralston. In on left wing to Puzar, and Housley got back to block that shot. Puzar behind the net is checked in the play. Now Ralston flipped it behind the goal, and here's Housley playing it off the boards on left wing to Sear. Sear at center. There's a rugged check handed out by Lowe, and back comes Puzar for Edmonton. Puzar to Lumley. Lumley cutting in. Check from behind. And then a shot let go by Ralston went wide. Fogelin at the point. Now Ralston. Fogelin couldn't hold it in. The puck comes to center. Lee Fogelin over to Kevin Lowe. Ahead to Ralston. Ralston trying to get around the defense. Got it in front of the goal. Davis is there for Buffalo. Mal Davis getting it ahead to Savard, who shot it to center. Coffey for the Oilers cleared it in, and the play is offside at the Buffalo blue line. Coast-to-coast coverage of the National Hockey League is only on USA. We'll be right back.
Toyota's been the #1 selling import truck for 5 years. The 1983 Toyota Standard bed aims to make it 6. With the biggest Standard engine in its class, a 1,400-pound payload, a better warranty than ever. And this, last year's sticker price, just $59.98. How does that feel?
Like somebody did it right.
With Gary Green and Al Troutwig, Dan Kelly in Buffalo, New York. Edmonton 3, Buffalo 1. Puck is shot in by the Oilers. Laurie Boschman behind the goal. Couldn't come up with it. And now Savard tried to flip it out of there. Huddy holding it in for Edmonton. Savard comes up with it. Clears to McKegney. McKegney in across the line to Andre Savard. Ridden out of the play, and Huddy for the Oilers comes up with it. He shoots it off the boards and down the ice. Larry Playfair, number 27 for Buffalo, flipping one high into the center ice area. And Paul Coffey goes back to get it. Coffey, lead pass to Boschman. Boschman moving in. Stops, tries to make a play, drops it back to Coffey, a drive, and Sauvé came out and made the save. Now Savard to number 7, Dale McCourt. Here's McCourt trying to work it in front. Boschman breaks that up. He feeds it into the center ice area, and it's dumped in there by Dave Hunter of Edmonton. Mike Ramsey has it for Buffalo. Now to Gilles Hamel. Hamel taken out of the play by Curry. Puck comes to Sealing. In front to Hamel, cleared away, and Semenko shot it but not out. Berta holding it in. Now the Oilers. Laraviere couldn't clear it. Center to Perreault. A shot and a glove save by Moe. Highway robbery by Andy Moog on that one. With the score, Edmonton 3, Buffalo 1. We'll return right after this.
Welcome to Miller Time. It's all yours, and it's all mine. Bring your thirsty self right here. You've got the time, we've got the beer for what you have in mind. Oh, welcome to Miller Time, yours and mine.
The best beer for the best time of the day. Miller High Life.
Andy Moog has definitely robbed the Buffalo Sabres here in this building tonight, and this time on their captain, Gilles Perreault. A great glove save by Andy Moog.
Boy, what a glove stop that was. Perreault had him at his mercy. Meanwhile, the Sabres have had some great chances here in the third period. They trail 3-1 as this time Edmonton's Messier cleared it down the ice. Going back is Housley. Over to Berta. Ahead to Perreault. Here are the Sabres. A 3-on-2 break led by Perreault. Perreault dropping it to Hamel. Shot, and it went off of Vogue high over the glass into the crowd.
Well, I'll say this much as we take a look at Gilles Hamel. The Sabres have been robbed a number of times, but the Edmonton Oilers have done one thing extremely well tonight. They have really played much better in their own end zone. They've been getting sticks on pucks, just as that particular case indicates. I think Glenn Sather got through to his team, especially tonight. They've come a long ways. They must have from their last two games where they were allowing so many goals, 7 in each game. Tonight they have been much better in their own end zone.
Kenny Linsman getting ready to take this face-off against Gilbert Perreault. On the face-off, the puck comes to Messier. He cleared it in behind the goal. The Oilers, Greg couldn't work it out, and now Glenn Anderson has it. Anderson to Linsman at center. Berta knocks that down to Mike Ramsey. Back to number 3, Berta. Headmanning it to Perreault on left wing to Hamel. Hamel slammed into the boards by Anderson, and then the Oilers clear it down the ice. Berta going back to pick it up. Hanno Berta out of Finland, a rookie for the Buffalo Sabres. He's number 3. Lets a low shot go. Moog to save. Low coming up with it. This pass to Curry. Number 17, Curry for Edmonton. Shoots it in. Semenko in after it. Semenko cleared it behind the goal to Gretzky, out in front to Curry. Just out of his reach, and back comes Perreault. Perreault down all by himself, trying to go around Fogelin. Almost hit, and then low upended Perreault. And now the Oilers' Semenko shooting one into the Buffalo zone. Dave Fenbez shot it back to center. Here is Lowe to Curry. Curry, number 17, lets the shot go off the side of the goal. Gretzky behind the net. Gretzky out in front to Curry. He scores! Gary Curry on a great setup by Gretzky.
Well, earlier we had talked about what Glenn Sather thinks of Jari Kurri. At that same point in time, we had mentioned the quick release of Jari Kurri. Here we'll see another quick release. This time, it hurts the Buffalo Sabres. Gretzky finding his winger very easily here, and Kurri wasting no time as we see number 25, Mel Davis, trying desperately to get to Kurri, but not in time, unfortunately. Bob Sauvé couldn't have moved much quicker, I don't think, to try and get over there.
Just an excellent pass and the quick release, the key to the goal.
Good shot by Jari Kurri.
4-1, Edmonton lead here in the third period. Puck in behind the goal, Ralston leaving it there. And now coming up with it is Coffey. Paul Coffey for Edmonton. Leads the rush into the Buffalo zone. Dropping it to Puzar. His shot, he scores! Puzar from just inside the blue line, as Lumley had taken Sauvé right out of the play.
Well, that was a goal. Let's watch Dave Lumley here, right in front of the net, and we'll just see how much of that puck Sauvé saw. Take a look at it again from another angle. Let's watch it from Sauvé's angle. I mean, he was being taken out of that play by Lumley, but he also had one of his own defensemen right in on top of him as well, and that made it even more difficult for Sauvé to get any type of vision on that puck.
Well, Fenbez is the guy that directed Lumley right into Sauvé, and that's why the referee would allow the goal to be scored. It would have been interference under normal circumstances, but Fenbez, the defenseman, had ridden the player Lumley right into Sauvé. And it's 5-1 Edmonton on the shot by Puzar. Now McCourt flipping it off the boards, and the play goes offside at the Edmonton Oiler blue line. 12:07 to play in this game. For our local affiliates, we'll pause now. You're watching the NHL on the USA Cable Network.
Be with the USA Cable Network tomorrow for a different breed of excitement as we present the opening night of the Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show. USA takes you to New York's Madison Square Garden for this, the most prestigious event of the dog show circuit. Don't miss the Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific, right here on the USA Cable Network.
5-1, Edmonton leading. Buffalo had their chances, didn't score. Edmonton gets a couple, boom, boom, they're in the net.
Well, that is why they are such a great offensive club. When they get their chances, those pucks go in the net for them.
Now as McKegney moved in, tried to center one, it bounced near the goal crease and was grabbed by the goaltender Moog. 5-1, Edmonton leading. Moog has played a big part in this with some key saves in that Edmonton goal crease at crucial times. Go back now to that great glove save he made on Perreault when the score was 3-1.
Well, that makes a big difference because if Perreault had scored at that point in time, we know that would have given Buffalo some real momentum. He's putting them one goal behind, but that was not the case. The case was that Moog robbed Perreault, and as a result, the Sabres really find themselves in a large hole.
Here's Buffalo Height, flipping it in behind the Edmonton goal. Kevin Lowe back to get it. Lowe flipped it on the boards to Hughes. He's knocked down, and Boschman gets it in behind the goal. Kevin Lowe is there to poke it away. McKegney racing after it for Buffalo. Back to Bill Height. That shot went off Hughes, and now Hunter tried to clear it out. McCord holding it in to McKegney. McKegney pokes it into the corner. Savard trying to center one. Lowe breaks that up, cleared it on the boards, and Hunter shoots it to the Buffalo line. Height back to clear it, gets it to Playfair. Now Boschman intercepting for Edmonton. The Oilers Fogelin over to Lowe. Edmonton leading 5-1. The Oilers dump it in. Those last two scoring plays for Edmonton. Curry from Gretzky and Lowe at 6:55, and then less than a minute later, Puzar from Coffey and Ralston at 7:32. Now Edmonton going to be penalized, a delayed penalty coming up. The Buffalo goaltender Sauvé has gone to the bench, and Sealing beats Housley. A penalty coming up against Edmonton as the Sabres try and work at the center, and as they do, and Huddy intercepts one. Now the play is called, and the penalty called against Dave Hunter. We're live at the Memorial Auditorium in Buffalo, New York. We'll be back right after this.
Introducing the totally new 1983 Toyota Tercel. Its front-wheel drive is only the tip of the iceberg. This Tercel is the lowest-priced Toyota you can buy. It has more room than any other subcompact and gives you more mileage than ever before. The new Toyota Tercel. It's a new standard in front-wheel drive, but that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Tercel!
That last penalty called in the game against Hunter, a high sticking penalty, 9:27 the time, and Buffalo behind 5-1 are up against it now.
Well, they desperately need a goal on this power play if they have any hopes of a comeback whatsoever.
Puck is shot in by the Oilers. Back is Perreault. He leaves it behind the goal to Berta, and now Perreault flips it ahead on right wing to Housley. Housley couldn't get around Lowe, who's played a strong game on that Edmonton defense, and he fired it out of there. Number 11 is Perreault. Buffalo trying to battle from behind, a 5-1 deficit. Hanno Berta moved across the line. Lowe took him out of the play. Fogelin comes up with it and just fell. Tried to fall on top of the puck. Play goes on, however. Here's Berta to Rick Sealing. Sealing to Berta in the corner. Hanno Berta. Back to the point to Housley. Now to Berta. To Housley. Housley shoots one, and that's blocked, and the Oilers' Curry tried to lead past to Gretzky as he fell down, so they cleared it away. Berta to Hamel. Hamel checked at center by Messier. Now Housley moving in. He's knocked down on the play, and Steve Patrick, number 26, has it. Cleared it as the Sabres are changing on the fly. Gretzky for Edmonton. Spins away from a check. Gretzky showing remarkable balance and now knocked down by Ruff. Gretzky, while flat on the ice, cleared it out, but play had been called. He's great whether he's standing up, lying down, or on his knee.
Well, they're giving him a round of appreciation in the Buffalo Auditorium, and he deserves it. What a display he just put on for the people in this building. Let's take a look at it. And again, we talked about his balance before, his great puck possession. Watch how he just eludes two Buffalo attackers. They're trying to pull him down. They were successful at pulling him down, but only one knee. You got to get Gretzky with a little bit more than just off of balance with one leg. You got to put him all the way down, and that is not easy to do.
Now the Sabres still on the power play. Centering one. A shot, they score! Wide open in front of the goal was Lindy Ruff, who slid right along the ice. And Buffalo strike on the power play.
Well, that was one of the more crafty goals, I think, that I have seen. Let's take a look at Lindy Ruff. When he gets possession of it, he is parked right in the slot area, and when he receives that pass, it was very difficult, I think, for Andy Moog to tell who was going to shoot that puck and from where, but he put it neatly right in the corner of the net.
I think it may have fooled Moog when the puck went to Brent Peterson and bounced away from him, then to Ruff. He may have been playing Peterson, and when Ruff shot it right along the ice, Moog may have been playing the wrong man on the play. So Buffalo score on the power play to narrow the Edmonton lead to 5-2. Buffalo shoot it in again. The Oilers, Messier giving it to Coffey, now to Lindsman. Back to Paul Coffey. Lindy Ruff tied him up. And the play went offside at the Buffalo blue line. We're down to 8:32 to play in this game. 5-2, Edmonton leading.
Well, you know, you talk about this year, the fact that the New York Rangers and their puck possession game, you know, I don't think anybody in the league plays a better puck possession game than the Edmonton Oilers. You know, through the course of tonight's game, that constantly they are maintaining possession of the puck, and very seldom do they ever dump and chase.
And last scoring play, Ruff is 10th of the year. Peterson and Housley the assists. 11:01 the time. A power play goal for the Sabres. They've scored both of their goals on power plays here this evening. Now back comes Buffalo. Sear, the rookie, couldn't get around Fogelin. Fogelin firing it back in for Edmonton. Mike Ramsey into the corner to Height. Height worked it out on right wing, and here comes Jordy Robertson passing it to Sear. Sear flipping it in. Lowe back to get it. Kevin Lowe fires one to center ice to Puzar. He couldn't get around Bill Height. Cleared away now. The puck near the blue line, and Lowe has it there to Fogelin. Fogelin flipping it into Lumley. He tried to clear it in, and back comes Dave Penvez for Buffalo. Penvez, number 31. Penvez behind the goal, still controlling it. Now centers one. Gets it to Dale McCourt. McCourt from a bad angle shot, and Moog made a glove save, even though the shot was going to go wide of the goal. You go back to the second period, Gary Green, and when Buffalo had a two-man advantage for over 1 minute and 50 seconds and couldn't score, that may have been a turning point in this game.
Well, that it was, and again, Andy Moog has really stole some great scoring opportunities from the Sabres tonight. They could well be even in this hockey game had they capitalized on some of their incredible scoring opportunities. But those are the breaks of the game, and that's what the Sabres have to live up to tonight. But yet, with only 7.5 minutes to go, there is still a time for a comeback. We have seen it before in stranger situations.
We see Gretzky on the ice now. When you were handling Washington against Gretzky, what was your defensive plan? How did you try and stop him? Here they score! Hope you did it differently than that. Tony McKegney scores in Buffalo. Maybe right back into this game.
You know, Dan, that was exactly the same corner that Lindy Ruff scored his goal on just moments beforehand. And let's take a look at it right from the face-off situation, right in the far right-hand corner of Andy Moog's. It was right along the ice, and that seems to be a position that has fooled Moog in the last few minutes.
So Buffalo have cut the Edmonton lead to 5-3. Going back in the Edmonton zone after a loose puck is Gary Laraviere. He shoots it out on the boards to Semenko. Now Semenko. Trying to clear it in. McCourt intercepting that ahead to Savard. Buffalo trying to storm back. Centering pass. McKegney couldn't catch up with it. Now Penvez cleared it behind the goal. Semenko winds it back to the goal, and number 6 for the Oilers, Gary Laraviere, flips it to center. Owsley has it there. That's the up end of him. Payne's holler about that. Buffalo trying to come back, but Semenko was back checking to knock it down. Now here is Sealing, number 16. Rick Sealing upended by Fogelin. And Yeri Curry has it. Curry to Gretzky. Knocked away by the defenseman Mike Ramsey. Hamel fighting on the boards with Fogelin. Yeri Curry comes up with the puck. Curry leaving it to Gretzky. Gretzky into the corner to Curry. He missed it back to the goal, and Berta passes to Perreault, tipped off his stick into the Edmonton zone. Fogelin going back to get it. Jotted around on the boards, and here comes Lowe. Cleared it. Perreault knocked it down, but Lowe gets it right back again. Shot to center ice, and Hamel gives it to Perreault. Back to Gilles Hamel, number 9. His shot is a high one off the glass. Now the loose puck in the corner. Fogelin flipping one out, and he flipped it up over the boards right at the Edmonton players' bench. And they'll have a face-off back in the Edmonton into the rink with 5:43 to play.
Well, we have got ourselves a hockey game now, and these fans realize that there's a new vibration going through this Buffalo auditorium. The fans realize that with the Sabres scoring those 2 quick goals, that they are back in it, especially if they could score another goal quickly. They are now only down 2 goals.
The Buffalo scoring play on the last goal was McKegney, his 25th of the year, from McCourt at 12:33. Now Brent Peterson centering a line with Ruff and Patrick on the wings. Hyde and Playfair on defense. Here's Ruff into the corner with Huddy. Puck cleared around on the boards. Coffey back of his own goal. Couldn't clear it. Now Linsman gets it back to Paul Coffey. And Coffey used the boards to flip it to the Buffalo line. Bill Hyde back to pick it up. Clearing it into the center ice area. And now as Huddy shot it back in, Anderson was trapped in there offside. And Anderson and Lindy Ruff want to poke at each other. And here comes Mr. Linsman into the middle of it.
Well, never a good opportunity for a fight to occur without Kenny Linsman being on it, at least if he was on the ice at the time. And Lindy Ruff certainly being a very aggressive player himself. Last year, Ruff, as we remember, had 194 minutes in penalties.
Meanwhile, order seems to be restored, and for our local affiliates, we'll pause. You're watching the NHL on the USA Cable Network.
The Buffalo Sabres fans are not used to seeing their team getting beaten as they are tonight by the Edmonton Oilers. Now, while the Buffalo Sabres are coming back, keep in mind the Sabres have lost only 4 games this entire season right here at Memorial Auditorium. And we're thinking about our USA MVP right now, and you really have to think in Andy Moog's direction. Certainly without the play of the Oilers goaltender, it would be a lot closer than it is right now. So Andy Moog is our leading candidate to be the USA MVP at the end of the game.
Play underway. We're in the final 5 minutes and 18 seconds of this game. Buffalo trying to rally from a 5-3 deficit. Puck is shot in. Andre Savard flipped it behind the goal to McCourt. Out to McKegney. He shot it wide. And Curry gets it for Edmonton. Tried to clear it. Did as Mike Ramsey couldn't knock it down. Now Hanno Berta at his own blue line to Ramsey. To McCourt. McCourt to McKegney. Just out of his reach. But the play was called back anyway. On and offside, and we'll check with Al Krutwig on the latest out-of-town happenings in hockey.
Okay, Dan, in the 3rd period, the Philadelphia Flyers still lead the New Jersey Devils by a score of 3-0. Meanwhile, at Madison Square Garden in New York, a very strange game when you consider how much trouble the Rangers have had scoring lately. They lead Winnipeg 9-3 in the 3rd period. Also in the 3rd period, Detroit breaking their scoring problem. 7-2, they lead the Hartford Whalers.
4:54 left. Edmonton leading 5-3. They had a 5-1 lead, but Buffalo put together back-to-back goals to narrow the gap. Here's Berta in his own end of the rink. Tried to clear it. Linsman knocks it down. Now here comes Savard. At center, Linsman checked him. He gives it to Messier. Now to Kenny Linsman. Linsman couldn't get around Mike Ramsey, and Andre Savard drops it to Berta. 4.5 minutes left. Mike Ramsey to McKegney. Shoots one. There's Moog with a crouching glove save, and he held on to it. Meanwhile, the play had been called back anyway at the Edmonton blue line.
Well, it was offside, and it definitely is coming back outside the blue line. As we take a look at Andy Moog, who I think we have suggested might be our MVP. Of course, this game, he's come up with some real big saves for his hockey club. I think Kevin Lowe and Charlie Huddy have both played well on defense for Edmonton as well, and certainly you can't overlook players like Gilles Perreault of the Buffalo Sabres.
Messier's had a goal and an assist. Anderson's had a goal and an assist. Coffey's had a couple of assists. A lot of people on that Edmonton club who could come into prominence. Here's one of them that Gary mentioned, Kevin Lowe. Got it to the line, but not out. Moog kicks this one away, and Pozar now cleared it, and it comes to the Buffalo blue line. Playfair losing it there, and Lindy Ruff takes over. Ruff to Bill Height. At center ice to Brent Peterson. He circles back. Peterson, number 20. Less than 4 minutes to play. Puck to the Edmonton line. Low shot it to center. Now Lumley has it for Edmonton, and he fires it into the Buffalo zone. Height back to pick it up. Now to Ruff. Ruff taken out of the play by Lumley. Height for the Sabres, dropping it back, and Playfair has it. And now Lumley had been knocked over the bench at the over the boards at the Buffalo bench. He had his stick up. Play going right on as Lumley got out of there and headed for his own bench. Safer there. Here's Playfair. Passing one ahead to Sealing. It goes all the way down the ice. Low back for Edmonton. Fired it out on right wing. Here's Laurie Boschman trying to shoot it in. Now the loose puck behind the goal. Edmonton's Hunter unable to center it. Benvez headmanning it to center to Sealing. To Perreault, but broken up at the blue line by Coffey. Huddy now giving it to Boschman. His shot blocked by the rookie Benvez. Now the puck in behind the goal, centered out in front, and Sauvé came diving out to grab a puck that had deflected off Hunter and bounced into his goal crease.
On the last few minutes, we have seen Edmonton dump and chase an awful lot more than they have during the course of the game. That is because I'm sure Glenn Sather has instructed his club to make sure that they do not get caught back in the neutral ice area without an even man-on-man situation. Otherwise, they're probably being instructed one man in for checking, stay back, pick up your wingers, and make sure defensively, because we've got that 2-goal lead, and we don't want to give Buffalo right now that opportunity to gain any more momentum than they've already got.
Seems strange to be talking about Edmonton and a player of the game and not be mentioning Gretzky.
Well, that it might, but
maybe a record.
That might be another record. You're right.
Loose puck taken by Buffalo. Shot to center. Hamel had it there. Poked away by Curry. Now Benvez, number 31, gives it to Hamel. Gretzky knocks that down. And Rick Sealing dropping it back. Housley gives it to Benvez. Benvez clipping it in. Huddy knocks that away. And here is Semenko to Yari Curry. Curry had dropped past to Gretzky, couldn't get around the defense. Back comes Housley. 3-on-2, Buffalo break to Perreault. Dropping in front of it was Larabier. Perreault again. Larabier again to block it. Puck loose at the side of the goal. McKegney scores! Tony McKegney put it into the top corner, and we still have a minute 55 left. And Buffalo has just narrowed Edmonton's lead to 5-4.
Well, we had said that Glenn Sather would not want his hockey club to get caught short-handed. Gretzky's line were at fault. They got caught on a 3-on-2. That's how this play originally started. But McKegney here with a loose puck right out in the slot area. I don't know how he found room to put that puck in the net.
We saw Larabier knock the Buffalo player right into his own goaltender. And that may have been as much a reason for the goal as anything else.
Well, we've seen a lot of that tonight. The goaltenders have had a rough time in their crease. Their defensemen have been constantly knocking at both ends of the rink, players into their crease, making it very difficult for them to stop pucks. In that particular case, Moog didn't really have a chance.
minute 55 to play. That 5-1 lead that Edmonton had has slowly dripped away. Now the Oilers try and clear it in. Tony McKegney got that goal, his second goal of the night. Hamel gets an assist, as does Gilles Perreault. 18:05, the time of the goal. Now we'll keep an eye on the Buffalo goaltender Sauvé. They trail now only by one. Here's Messier centering it. Nobody there, and Savard comes back for Buffalo. He leaves it for Mike Ramsey. The pass to McCourt was behind him, went all the way down the ice. They ruled that Edmonton could have played it, so there's no icing, and McCourt goes in, and with some aggressive forechecking, forces a faceoff. A minute 23 to play. 5-4 Edmonton. What's the proper time to pull your goaltender, Coach?
Well, I think Scotty Bowman will probably wait for a little bit yet, because they've got a faceoff coming up to the right of Andy Moog, and that's a big faceoff for them. They've got some pretty key faceoff guys. A guy like Perreault, as we see, he will be coming off the ice. Well, I was wrong. Scotty Bowman's electing to take out Sauvé right now in favor of that extra attacker. No time like the present, I guess.
Brent Peterson will take this face-off against King Linsman. 6 attackers for Buffalo. 5-4 Edmonton lead. A minute 23 to play. On the face-off, Perreault shoots. He put it high off the glass. Now Edmonton come up with the puck. Messier clearing it down the ice. Sealing going back to get it. And it's going to be another icing call. Messier didn't want to shoot it that hard down the ice.
That is one thing that you do not want your players to do. As we take a look at Ken Linsman, you will not want them to be able to shoot that puck down, so you end up with face-offs in your own zone. I think right now, Sather probably is a little fearful of the fact that Buffalo have now